XR has about 10,000 activities. You have here the schedule percent complete and the performance percent complete are 60.42. We want to make these contain values equal to each other, so as long as you are making a revision, it means you have reasons. For example, you might have an extension of time, or a change in the scope, or an addition to the scope, or something like that. Whatever the reasons are, you adjust the revised part, you adjust your time according to the contractual end date, you add the new scope, and you analyze any out-of-sequence activities. You analyze the existing problems in the part and the timing, and only one step remains, which is to make them equal before you proceed with the next step. You must go into the calendar and make sure that you have set it up the way you want. And the most important thing is to adjust it so that it matches the last hour in your calendar. If your calendar ends at 18, keep it at 18. You can add an extra hour. It's not a problem. Make it 19. This point is very important because it will make a big difference for you, and the reason is that for example, if it ends at 6 p.m. and you enter 3 p.m. in the time here, it will cause problems in the schedule. So make sure it's 18 o'clock so that it separates the activities at 18 o'clock, which is the time your calendar ends. So this step is important after that. You then start exporting the file to XCR. We'll name it. For example, B4, then you reopen the tool revised by splitting. Of course, here it tells you the things you need to pay attention to, like the out-of-sequence activities and the data date. There shouldn't be any activities with actuals after the data date. For example, if today's data date is 21-26, there shouldn't be any activity with an actual after January 1st, 2016. Of course, problems will occur, so these are the checks you need to pay attention to here. After that, it tells you about the activity. Let's say you have an activity that's 60% complete. Usually, it will split this activity into two parts, the 60% that will be marked as completed and the 40% that will be remaining or not started. For the activity name, you can add a suffix to the completed part and a suffix "a" to the part that will be not started. You can change these as you like. As for the activities, after you split the activities before splitting were, for example, 1,000. After splitting, the 1,000 will be the completed part. For the new activity that will be in progress, or rather, not started, you want to add a suffix, so it will be "a", like 1,000, 1,000 under. Scorer to distinguish between the two. Okay, after you've set all this up, you then click Start and choose. XR has about 10,000 activities. We call it after. We import the file. XR. Right, once it's finished importing, you open the project. What will you notice? The learned value matches the planned value. Of course, there might be some activities that don't align properly. Why is that? As we mentioned, if you have a data date and an activity that takes action after that data date, this will cause a problem. Or if you haven't set up the calendar in the schedule from the beginning. So if you encounter this same issue, how can you solve it? Set the time to 23:59, change the calendar to the end of the day, and reschedule. It will solve this problem for you if there are only minor differences. But as I told you, if you set up the calendar correctly from the start, specifically to end at the close of the calendar day before exporting, God willing, you won't face any issues. So as we said, the goal of this setup is to match the planned value.